Hi class, I wanted to give you some video feedback and I'm going to try and go as quickly as I can because we have a lot to cover, and I do want you to watch as much as you possibly can. Okay, this has a lot of motion and I like the colors. Be careful with video because it will slow down your site as far as refreshing. Not for you, but you'll have it stored already, but for people who are first visiting, it will be slower. You could even use a still shot of some sort with these colors. And if you are a visual artist, your goal will be to replace, this is for everybody, replace any stock image or videos with something of yours. And maybe this is yours. If you're with digital cinematography, you probably had Danny, or you probably had a time lapse, so maybe it is, but keep it in mind. This, I think we need to get rid of this line. It is kind of breaking into this image more than it is containing this. Rather than outlining, maybe a soft drop shadow that's very close. And as far as, next to the letters, not very deep. And I'm going to say that's a fine amount. Try not to have one word on a line, but let's try and clear any images. So if that means we reduce this, take a line, paragraph out, and put it over here, then I think that would be a better choice for you. Good job. You updated your copyright. Okay, good. I'm not sure I am allowed to play this. Okay. The color's working for sure. And let's see if you can, yep, you're consistent with that. That's good. And it's consistent with your brand, so that's all good. Okay, this is a little close, so that's something to think about. This isn't yours anyway. So I would just put contact down here if you feel a need to have an image there, which probably you just want something a little bit transparent right here. Put this someplace else and have a form that is black and white with a lot of clear spots if you're going to use this video. All right? All right. I like where we're going with this. I'm unable to look at your mobile site at this time, so keep that in mind. All right, moving on. All right, Bearded Ninja, I'm hoping this is yours, and I think it is. I don't think you need the word demo reel. Okay, let's take this off. Take this off. Nice clean footage, good lighting, and that's what people are going to look for, right? Okay. I think instead, let's have a shape here, a box here, that you put this in, and let's make the box maybe a 20% transparency, something that this would be easy to read, so maybe it's going to be a gray instead of covering up an image. Okay, so that is a big deal. We don't want to cover up images. Think about simplifying these colors. I think the same thing sometimes. If I, make something bold and highlighted, it's going to stand out and people are going to see it better, but better to just reduce this a little bit, put it over here, have it in gray or black or white, and have this in gray, black, or white. Okay, because when so many things are highlighted, then nothing is really highlighted. Little space here between your headers. There's not much there. There's not much space up here. So maybe it needs to be in the box here, says services, and instead of up here. Okay. I mean, you do have them in the same place, so almost. So I commend you for that. This one's a little higher. But that's a little close. Okay. All right. But you've got some great work, so that's important. You see, so you've done it here. And that's more of what you need to do everywhere. Maybe if you didn't have these in the bright yellow, it wouldn't compete as much. All right, allow padding here. Okay, a little more margin, a little more space. Okay, bring that in. If you have to edit, that's okay. All right, bring it down a little bit. Okay, so you get the idea. All right. Consider just going with the black and white for these, I think, will be better for you. And we want to simplify our use of text. So, yeah, yeah, the spacing isn't quite right. The weight isn't quite right. Maybe you find a font like this, closer to this, that will go here, and just take Demo Reel off. Okay. All right. Incredible start. Nice work. Social media links. You have them here, and it's linked up to your Facebook. Yeah, it's a little tight there, a little snug. Yeah, okay. Could consider putting your social media on the bottom or in the footer too. All right. I mean, we don't ordinarily want it in two places on a page, but you could consider how you want to work that out, but I think you need to have that on each page. Ideally, we have what your service is on each page, but simply, saying productions is fine, and I think you pretty much cover this. All right. All right. Great job. Let's take a quick peek. Yeah, we just have to be careful about covering up images because they have no purpose for being there if we can't see them at all. All right, so think about that. Good. Let's take this off, find a better font here, and put it here. You just have to play with those fonts. Go to fontjoy.com and you can make some comparisons there, play around on that site. Okay, your black and white, and don't think this needs to be repeated. Okay, I wouldn't repeat this. I think it needs to be simplified. Either take one out and keep this as a header.
I'm reminding you, take a picture of the...
All right. Okay. Your headers are in the same place on your mobile, so that's good. This image is coming up slowly, so it may need to be optimized, reduced maybe on your mobile aspect, maybe not have so much. Okay. All right. Great start. Very happy with what everybody's doing. Good. And I think this needs to be a little larger if that's going to be important to you. This could be a little larger also. We're going to start with the about. Okay. Let's put Jack Dempsey Productions up here, and this is fine here, okay? But this is great. It tells us what you do, but production is good too. And then you talk about editing. So that's awesome. Just right. Perfect amount. Perfect amount. Kind of small. Maybe when we get to our mobile, we'll see. I don't have access to your mobile right now. But I think it's perfect. Okay, so be careful with coming soon, unless you give a general ballpark. Okay, coming in the spring or something like that. That's just something that we used to do on sites when sites first came out, under construction, and it was all cool and fine. But right now we just disable anything that isn't going to be used soon. It's like my daughter says, if you're not going to use something in the next 20 minutes, then put it away. So words to live by. Okay, so backyard. Very cool, very cool. Okay, I prefer not to have something by itself on a line. By itself, I'm not sure you have an opportunity to fix that or not. And it could be just a reflow kind of thing. No. Okay, but looks great. Again, you're going to have productions up here, Jack Dempsey's productions, and that's going to be a nice reminder to everybody. And it's going to be bigger, and it's going to look pretty much like what you have on the front. That text, I think, will help. Terrific. It's all the same themes. We're a little dark. Is it brighten up maybe the template? Yeah, I think it's just the template is a little dark until we go onto it. Okay, cool. Let's see. I want to be able to get back to my home page. There it is. And so that's good. You've got plenty of stuff. On your blog, it's a great place to put added information, different projects that you're working on. Nice. Same spacing. It's the template, but nice. And again, that's going to be up here, so we're always going to know whose site we're on and what they do. I feel like this is really long. We say online courses, and it could say backyard composting, or something. 2 words, if you can get it here, is going to be better than 3 for that. Super cool, great image. All right, we do have this twice, but it doesn't really bother me too much. Well, we have it 3 times. Okay. Maybe we don't need it both in the header and up here. So possibly this is the place that's going to get crowded and not this place. You can make them bigger down here. That would still be easy to find. Logging in for a course would be, I guess, useful. All right, great. Love what you're doing here. I wish I could see the mobile. All right, great job. Okay, if I click this, yes, we go to a site. But let's remove that background video. It's just going to slow your site down and we're not using it. Let's bring this, either make these a little bigger, maybe, bring them up. If you have more you're going to add, I know, maybe as you go, but it also might work just to have the 3 centered. Okay. So you're kind of using that Wix video as a transition, but we see it a lot, And I don't usually say too much about it, but you know, I think for a production company, I would just remove it and wait till you have something that you've done. You know, seek out something like that that you can shoot yourself. If you like that, then shoot something like that. Lots of things you could do, you know, inside of pianos. So many different kinds of things you could go look for with repeated lines. Let's make sure we get this down to one line so we don't have a word hanging by itself. I'm not fond of the Christmas colors. Okay, let's do either a black and gray kind of thing. Yeah, not crazy about, you know, and I've done this too. I've gone towards green and white for a while. Always seems fresh, but and I know, let's see. I have seen those before. Let's take a little space out here. Okay, it's a great start. Okay. Narrow down your color scheme. So if you want gray, white, and black, that's good. And if you want one accent color, then go with this deep red. And but take the green away. Okay. Okay. You tell us your tagline there, and you tell us what you do. Perfect. Here you have that. Okay. All right. Let's see how you are doing on the mobile. Okay. And this happens all the time. We need to make sure that those aren't overlapping. This would probably be centered. Again, let's close this up. If you were a graphic artist, I would, you know, say go towards green or something and not the red, but a little spacing here. Center this. But as a photographer, I can tell you usually the black, gray, charcoal, and white work really well. They tend to accent your work. There are other colors that can accent pretty well, and that would be a gold sometimes. You know, like the the golden hours and things like that can sometimes work. But if, you know, check out the colors of things that you're doing, and that's where your color palette's going to come from. Okay, all right. Yeah, not the green. All right, so we'll look at this again. Let's get that down to one line. Okay, something like, let's get an estimate for your project or something like that. All right, great start. It's going to move along. All right. This is the template. That's the thing. So I can't say a lot about it. Now maybe, hold on. Okay, so can't say a whole lot about that yet. Okay. Subby Productions, I remember this. I'm not sure we need it in both places. We can get into the content and to make sure that that is set to public. Okay. Go ahead and make that bigger if you can. Okay. All right. All right. If you're going to make this different, maybe make it closer to all caps, not very big, maybe not even as big, but all caps maybe to separate these from this as a title. Just something to think about, but these are working. This probably can go just a little bigger, and that way you can bring things up. And I recall this, and it's all good. I don't know if you want to call yourself a brat, but I guess that's common. Okay, yeah, that a little bigger, this up a little more, and then bring up some of those other pages. But working, yeah, that'll be just a little bigger. Okay. That'll probably be cut and, you know, about there as far as that much content for your online, for your mobile. Okay, that's going to be a little bigger. Okay. So, yeah. All right, so take a look at that this month. But terrific start, terrific start. You've got a lot of organization here, and it's going to make it much easier for you this month. All right, great job. I thought this was interesting, the way it came up kind of out of the wall. So I thought that was kind of cool. Ordinarily, I'm not a fan of animation on, you know, a site so much, unless it's a graphic and, you know, After Effects is what we're showing. We need to make sure this stands out a little bit, so we have to either put a darker background behind it, maybe a, you know, like I said, 20-25% block there. And this is going to need a little bit of a drop shadow as well. Okay. We need to reword this, caps, and watch your spelling, all right? But this works okay. Probably want to make it a little bigger. I think I would just make a background that's all light blue, because this isn't relating, you know, and the color is popping out, and this is supposed to be what's important. So I would think about that. Okay. If we're going to have the contact just 2 lines, we don't need it in the header with the about. We do need it there to reach you, but I think I would either make it an entire image by itself, a page by itself, and have your about be this, okay? And just go ahead and make another page for your contact. I'm not sure we need the more. In fact, it doesn't look like we do. That wasn't showing. Okay. Okay, good. The brand is carried over. Yeah, we could get into your demo reel. Quicker. And I would just use the black and white to match your logo over here. As far as the icons, you have a choice in Wix to choose that. Okay, yeah, the overlaying isn't working. I think you can see that. So this either has to come out, this image, you need to put something that you've photographed back there or remove that background. And we need a contrast here so we can see it. Works a little better on mobile, but having them together is too many titles for just one line, one or two lines when we get there of contact. Okay. I do like this image. All right. Good start. I'm looking forward to seeing where this goes this month. Again, let's put that, the black and white for you. Maybe white. All right. Good job. All right. So I like this. It could be a little larger. It's not easy to read, but it's covering up his face. And that's the only thing is the placement. Okay. This needs to be a little easier to read. It's a little light, so that we need a little more contrast there. Very charming. Love this. Just a little easier to read. Okay. All right. Yeah, just, the navigation really and headers. Otherwise, the work is terrific, and that is the main thing, isn't it? So you've got very little to have to work on here. I do think this is a little small. In some ways it can look elegant, but we unfortunately have to choose readability over aesthetics, always. Okay. Okay. All right. I will need to think a little more on this one. Basically, it's just where this is overlapping and the spacing isn't quite right. It's a little too much. Text should go a little closer together. There's a game, and we play it when you come to class online, and it has to do with kerning, okay? The space between letters and getting it right. It's a practice game. Okay. It'd be nice to see these a little bigger instead of in this gallery like this, right? Don't you think? To have them stacked when you get here. It's not too hard to edit. You just go into your mobile version and you edit that. But that's what I think should happen there. Definitely want to see the images. Not too much text. People don't read a lot. So your mobile's going to be a little simpler, right? This could go here if you want. Center it. Yeah, it's just very light. Needs to be a little bigger. Try to edit this to where we don't have one word on a line like that. But great work, and I'm excited to see where this is going to go, right? Great job. All right. This isn't necessary. We need the space more than we need that. Let's move this. It's a little tight. So let's just put it on the top over here, perhaps, and simplify the colors here. And this is overlapping, so we have an issue there. You can make this bigger. I don't know that green is the color that you need. This, we need to rework this, okay, because we're cutting things off and we don't want to do that, and we want things to align, and we want to be able to see that no matter what. Okay. You can freeze this, make that less, make it opaque so it's not transparent, so it's not covering up things and overlapping over here. Yeah, let's take this green out. You've got the images. Let's just take those boxes out. Okay, that looks like interesting footage. And so that's what I want to see more of. And if you're going to use green at all, maybe this green. Okay, but not this green, not this green. Let's almost always avoid green and red. Okay, and these are two primary also. And let's just say what we offer so we don't have this word by itself. Good, these are all on one line, that's good. Yep, that's not, it's not great. And this background is just chopping things up here. I'm not sure, because it's transparent. Yeah, we have to be really careful when we do parallax scrolling because the image in the back has to drop back. It's very specific. This page section actually isn't working for you. I would make a whole nother page for this and this, all right? Because they're not quite working. So, yeah, it's not working. I think in your case, you want to separate your sports photography, videography, and kind of let us go into that. And then take this stuff and the behind the scenes kind of thing and put it, you know, push that over a little bit. So only thing on this home scroll page is your work. And then you're going to have to be careful about how it's breaking up. Okay, but we got to be careful with this. And you're going to get there this month. And I'm anxious to see how it's going to come out when you do some of these things, all right? Okay, get into that video quicker. Good. Okay. How do I feel about this background? I don't mind it because it drops back. It's not important. This you can't see, but it does need to be optimized. It's coming up too slow. Okay, so it needs to be smaller at your best quality, at the smallest size we can get it. But, you know, these are great. But let's just kind of get into this world and separate the team and services. Let's put the work up here too. Home, work, about. Yeah. Separate pages for you. I want to see the football stuff. And then I want to see your work, home, the work, then the about. I think by itself, I mean, even if it's on this page, this kind of background with a rectangle that has an opacity, you know, 12, 20, 30%, and something about the team, and eventually a team shot, your team shot, your photography production team, or working shot. But, you know, you could use this background texture. I don't know what it would look like. Well, think about it, but we've got to eliminate all these layers. Okay, we can't do so many layers like this. They're not really consistent with each other, and the styles are very different. And this is amazing. Okay. All right. I would do just, 2 or 3 full screen here, even if it's a slider of some of these things, and it's just to here and a slider. And now we go to another video after it and another video. Let me know if you shot this. But anyway, because that's a pan for sure. Huh. Okay. But that's what I think I want to see. I want to see 3 videos that are in a gallery on one page, and I don't want to see this. You can have, and then you'll have your works page, which is the same as your projects. Eliminate this picture, these pictures, they go. You can just say production, post-production, and that will be fine, and talk about them. But you don't need these, and these 2 things are going to be on a different page. Okay? All right. It's going to look great. It's going to be awesome. Yeah, can't put text over images like this. Okay, so this is going to change completely because it's going to look great. I just want to see your work. All right. Okay, hard to read, and we're not sure exactly what you do. Okay, so let's push this over, and you could center it, but that would be tight here with this under it. Update this. See how much of this is template. Okay, so you're saying this is your logo, kind of. So that would be up here. But I think this is fine as a logo, but bring it up here. Could just be Darlingtons. And then you have what you do. If it's content creator, so a multimedia company. Okay, so Darlingtons, a multimedia company. That would be cool. If you aren't already branded as Darlington Creations somewhere. Work, let's make the work a little bigger. I'm not sure about this. You're saying you're a gamer, but I'm not sure. It's not, that's a button. It makes me want to click. It's okay just to have a little bit of work, but let's really show it off. Okay, so you would have to have an example of all these things. And if you do have an example, I recommend putting it into a mobile phone mock-up as far as SEO, that kind of thing. But we would have to have, and this is too much space because we don't, we don't need to scroll for this. These are just 6 items that could be, very close together, in fact, or somewhat close together, so that we're not looking for something. Probably this needs, you're going to have to go through and proofread 4.4. Take this off and just have, our services, and bring it up a little bit. You don't need 2 lines for that. The whole thing, you guys, is going to be for less scrolling and less clicking. That's what you want. You want just someone to come to your site, see your work, and be able to contact you if they like. They just need to summarize and know what it's about. This is a nice page. Yeah, creations. What if it's Darlington's Media or Darlington Media? Even that sounds clearer. Okay. Creations is when we're kind of offering a very broad but vague kind of service. So let's say media for you. And maybe you're a media strategist, maybe it's Darlington Media, and then say, underneath it your tagline is media strategist. The thing is, this is a slogan. The creativity is a gift. We have some to give. That's a slogan. It's not a tagline. A tagline tells them exactly what your service is. So here's the analogy. If we were Nike, we could say just do it, but we're not. And so people don't know what we do. We would have to say athletic apparel and gear. We would have to spell it out for people. So we don't have that luxury. Very few people do. Very few brands do. Okay, Nike was just that powerful and could do it. All right, so okay, you see how this is closer together? That's more of what you need. About that much space on your site, your desktop. And I'm not sure what this is. It's a button to me, so let's take it out and update and see what else we can put there eventually. Okay. This isn't super strong. Maybe if this were connected. And the T, I don't know what the T is for. You see, so it's not relating. Multimedia companies, okay. So, Darlington Media, you would have to look and see if that's already taken. But you could say media strategist or something. Okay, all right. Good start. It's going to come together. And you're saying you do planning and strategy and stuff, but creations is too vague for us. All right. All right. Good start. Okay. We want to make sure that, text and images are worked out. So there's either a drop shadow or something. Video is going to be slowing down your site. A still would be better because you would make sure that you could always read services and our work. Let's make sure these are all the same space between projects and the same width and the same depth, and they align. That means they line up at the bottom, top. Okay, good. Be careful about putting an address or a phone number when they can email you, especially if, unless it's a downtown someplace and you're safe, and never put your home address. Okay, these aren't yours, so disable this. Okay. Disable the blog page. Okay, interesting. Go ahead and get a little more, if you're going to do this, go ahead and Photoshop that. Make it a good thing to do when you're Photoshopping or keying something out is to make it kind of a medium gray, a little darker than this in this case, so that it only works here, but it's not quite as clean as you need it. So if you're going to do it, it's got to be done just right. And you've done a great job everywhere else. Now you don't have any legs. I'll leave that to you. I feel like you should have legs. I do feel like you should have legs, even if there's somebody else's legs. Even if you have to go find a photo and put black pants on them. Some shoes here. Even if it goes down and some of the shoe is cut off, I think you need those. Or you can't have this background image. This would have to cut here, and this would be a new image down here. Okay, and that would change the whole thing that you're doing. That's long. So think about it. Maybe you could, no, it'd be too much. It's a little long, needs a little breathing room in between the paragraphs, okay? Okay. Okay. Yeah, that needs to have a drop shadow or a box over here. I can't read it, all right? Can't see your mobile site. Okay, a little hard to read. Maybe it comes up just a little bit lighter, but not too much green. The kerning, space between the letters, needs to close up. Okay. And do these link? They sort of, okay, the arrows link. You want all of this to link. Okay, so not just the arrows. Okay. I think there was, okay, cut this down. I like how you're doing this, but cut that down a little bit. It's a lot of scrolling, and we just have this image up here. So, if this came up just a little space here, left a line. Yeah. So I think you've made some changes since I saw this last. Okay, yeah. Okay. Okay. Little hard to read, this all caps. Try not to have one word on a line at that size. All right. I like this. Those are my day. Okay. I like this. Someday animate this to come out a little bit as it kind of grows out. Nice. Little hard to read here. That's the only thing. Probably would have to lighten it just a little and put a drop shadow over this image. All right. All right. It's going to be great. Good job. Same thing. We need to reduce this. It's a slogan. Okay. Interesting, but this looks good, but it needs to be optimized, the images, so they come up all together, and if it's not a gallery and it's one image, basically, then make it one image, if it will allow you to do that. This is impossible to read, okay? So if you want this pattern here, make it big. The text, you can use that. Okay, good. Good. We need to say what we do, if it's live productions or whatever, but this is too hard to read, and I think it just needs to be shorter. Turning ingenuity into originality and imagination. These things can go into and about, but break this down into like a few words, just a few words. Originality and imagination. Okay. Great products and training. Great products and training for churches, something like that. Giving is always a good word. Giving great products and training for churches. That's as long as it needs to go. But all of this is covering up and hard to read. And your logo, work on that. Okay. A little hard to read, right? Something really short right here. Okay. It could say about commitment to excellence, and then you can say Vortex is a Louisiana base and keep it short. Giving church, based, blah blah volunteers, AVL equipment, and integrated systems is giving churches great products and training within originality and imagination. Okay, so you're not going to be able to get all of that there with this on top of an image. You can, add something somewhere a little bit if you really want to give in. See, because we can't see that. It doesn't need to be there at all. Let's talk is fine. All right. All right. And you can break it down a little bit as far as where you want to spread out all that information. I mean, it looks good in a way as far as a design, but it's not readable. So unfortunately, we have to make a choice. Okay, big logo design there. All right, I'm looking forward to seeing these so much. Can't wait. Make sure we can see this. And so it reads well here, but not here. I don't know if this is your image. So your media agency. So I don't know if that means that you're connecting people or producing. Building your perfect feed. Interesting. Okay. All right. But let's get this just up here, not down here. And which means you're going to have to do something up here. Let's take that off, I think. We can... I want you to think about how you can squeeze some of that space, because this needs to come up if you're going to use this image. Do you even need this here? Maybe the camera. And here's the thing. For a photographer, you don't have to use a camera. Okay. You might even put a lighthouse. But if we push this over here, we don't need to use this very important space for that. You can put that down here. And, okay. Is this you? Okay. All right, cool. Bring that up. Bring this over here. And then bring all this up. Once you get that over here, you're going to be able to bring this up. And this is going to be easier to read. Okay? Take out just a little. Okay. Okay. Okay, it's okay. I just... Here's something. Okay, so these are the colors you're working with. Doesn't feel too much like navy, but that's okay. It's okay. I'm wondering if this is the best color to connect next. I'm thinking maybe the peach would be good there. And close all this up. Remove that. Okay. Let's not use this font here. Let's find something else. Try and use one line. If we've got one line here, it can be photo and video editing. It can be just a bar here, photo editing, video editing. Okay, you already say you don't, I'm not sure you need to say design here. We have it here. Decide what type of design you mean. I'm not sure that you need that. You can just use a bar, branding, content, creator, creation. Okay. All right. Close this up a little bit. I think you need your social media. Okay, close it up and just have your footer there to here. Okay, we're going to, because this is going to move over here, you're going to be able to get into this sooner, and that's going to be better. And maybe close this up a little bit, just a little. Nice amount. Close this up. You're probably going to have a footer there. Okay, and since you've chosen your color palette from this template, then your future work, you're going to go back and do that. You're going to start applying some of those colors. You do it here and almost here, and of course you do it here. So you're going to think about that for your projects moving forward, because that's kind of the brand that you've presented, that feel. Okay. I want to look at that because I'm curious, but this definitely is more brand for this lighthouse kind of thing. So I would probably lead with that. Okay. Yeah, I want to see a style guide. I want to see a style guide for this. Okay, so bring that, close that up, bring that up to here. This, this, this. So you don't need that at all up here. That's going to work. Bring that over. Okay. Yeah, that's going to have to come up. I'll be honest, I'm not crazy about cameras. I'm not crazy about camera icons. A lighthouse, I could see, but, and I get, you know, you're trying to keep it in the media kind of family, but photographers don't usually use this. So I feel the same way about, you know, film reels, and probably the next one's going to have a film reel. But that's just, you know, you want your site to be as professional as you can. Let's close this up a little bit. You're going to bring that up when you remove that space. That will be centered. Try that. Just the right amount. Good, good, good. Yeah, this is going to have to come up a little bit. The kerning's not quite right. Needs to be a little closer together, just a little to work. And you want to work this out to where you don't have a line by itself all the time. Maybe media agency on the bottom looks better, but also Lighthouse Media would be fine, and then you can say a media agency or something. Okay. Good, good, good. You tell us what you do. Kind of need to, yeah, want to simplify that. And here's what you want to think about. Stepping up your social media game. That's good when it's in writing. If it's a slogan, it needs to kind of tie in your brand, right? And I know this is a detail, but it's like, words that like guiding you, right? I'm here to guide you with your social media strategy or something, because that's what a lighthouse does, right? So I think game would be great if you were in sports or something. And I just say that because it's so big. Okay, just trying to tie these things together for you. But great shots, and you're so close. I can't wait to see where this goes. All right, great start. Okay, Savannah, make that bigger, much bigger. You don't need the purple behind it. It's distracting from this work. And you're just going to say cinematographer. This is more of a slogan that would go, like at the bottom of your end of your paragraph, it's a cinematographer with higher values. That's where that would go. We can't read this. So it needs to be broken up into at least 2 or 3 paragraphs, and it needs to be a font that is larger and easier to read. And the reason it's hard is it's italicized, it's small, and it has very fine strokes as well. See that M? So those 3 things make it difficult. Okay, so you'll be able to change that, make this a little bigger. Make sure your links are working. Okay, cool. And we've got some things twice, so we don't want to do that. Take that off for sure. Okay, take this off because you already have it. So one place or the other for all of those. Same font issue here. We have to be able to see it better. Go ahead and use the white icons. Okay. So commercial, documentary, don't need this. Maybe if you have one shot that you are especially fond of, one image, even if it's this, and then documentaries, and then commercials at the end. All right, the color would work in that way. All right, so yeah, we just needed to say right now, because you have one of each, we needed to say portfolio, and when you go there, you have documentary, narrative, right, and commercial. So just one link that says works and takes you one page. Take all this off. If you want, you can make this image on your front page. And then just a link to your works. And that's where you're going to have these 3 things, but you're going to make it in order of this, and documentary, and then this. Okay. Let's see. Okay. And take out the template placeholders. Okay, so take this out and just put it on your bio. But same thing. You've got it in. You need a little bigger font, okay, and some breaks. All right. Okay, and then make that another page by itself so it's not breaking, that it's a whole page. Okay, so one scroll is not for everybody. In fact, it's not the best, in my opinion. Okay, way too much text for your mobile. You want to cut that down. These, I'm not sure you need those. I think you just need a works page, and take those out. And let's make sure we always have access to this, which means you're going to need to freeze it so it scrolls. I know this goes up like that. Maybe just shortening your content will be sufficient. Okay. All right. Let's make this a little easier to read with a different font and make that black and white. All right. Great job. Can't wait to see where we're going with that. Okay. Chris. Good. The kerning needs to go a little bit closer. Just the right amount. I don't think we need a button when we're just going that far. Okay. Nice image, by the way. I like when we can see the highlights in an eye. That's probably a ring light, but that's important when you're taking portraits, everybody. I would probably shorten this since you're going for a 3, going for center alignment, and watch how it's breaking the shape that it makes. Okay, some are better than others. This is a better shape than this. Okay, so that's what you want to think about. Okay. All good. I'm not sure I like this change in color. This font isn't really working for you, I think. I guess because it's changed. We'll think about that. But if you can, I feel like you want these in a gallery because they're not the same size. If you can get them the same size, fine. You also want a little more for your asset guide, telling us who the client was, what they did briefly, you know, the project. And this, I am not sure why that's blue. Let me see what happens. Okay. Not sure what that is. This keeps, you need to optimize it and see if that will work. Okay. So, I don't know, is this something maybe, okay. Okay. So, I don't know if this is your photography, something you create, or if this is from your transmedia storytelling. Not really sure. So, because I'm not sure what we do here. I wouldn't make it a link off of your page. If you want to put it in, you know, something that you created. Now here's something you can do. You can embed a website. So if you want to embed that website, you can go into Wix and select the embed menu and then add your site, and it will go right in here. So that would be one way to show that as your work without sending them away from your site. Okay, of course that's not yours, so let's take it off, and then you won't need that. This will just become asset. Okay, so that's what you want to do with that. And that should work really nicely. But we do want things to be aligned, the same size, the same amount of space. Okay. And your contact should go at the end, always. So move that over to the right. But that's going to work when you get that in there. I think you're going to like it, but I'm not sure that we're not going to change this color scheme. I know we're not going to use blue. If you're going to use this color, use a darker shade of it, but Okay, like this color, if you're going to. So stay in that range, all right? Okay, great job. I wish I could see the mobile, but I do want to see that site embedded because that's going to be fun. All right. Okay. Okay. A little darker. Everything's clean, everything's above the scroll except when you've got your work, and that's fine. Same amount of distance, unreleased, okay. I'm not sure what that is. Maybe it's coming, but hopefully soon. Good. I like the way your thumbnails, actually fit into the frame. That's awesome. Really important. Really important. Looks good. Looks good. Okay. Your headers aren't in the same place. Small detail, given what you have every place else is working so well. But think about it. This is fascinating. Love it. Okay. Great image. Tells us a little bit about what you do. All right. Okay, bring this up just a little. Might as well center it and pinch it in a little bit together. You've got this twice, not necessary. Just use it once. Not sure what that means, but it could just be me, but I'm not sure what AZ based means. Arizona based, I guess. Okay. All right. Nice. Okay, let's see this. A little much. This may need to be bigger. This just kind of seems out of nowhere in a way because it's down there. Okay. All right. So possibly you could make an edited version of your asset for this. See how you can edit that down a little bit. Take out project, just say title, slash interview documentary, or interview, filmed interview, whatever. But you could edit that for your mobile. Edit that down. It's a little long. Great shot. Still a little long. You could take this out, just say AZ freelance filmmaker, maybe bring that up on one line, therefore. That would work for you. All right. Yeah. It's going to be great. All right. Good job. Okay. So we want to probably, update this for sure. We've got a lot of the template here. And so I'm not sure, maybe this was maybe this was Darlington template. Okay. And not a submission. All right. Courtney. Okay, a little hard to read this. Maybe make these a little bigger. Okay. So this is hard to read on mine. It might be different for your browser, but it's having a bit of a problem on my screen. It's going off. Okay. So it's possible it's because it is reflowing. Nope. It's not because it's responsive. Okay, so yeah, you want to take care of that. The text there. Make these a little bigger. Okay, so what I'm going to say here is how, you know, the one we saw earlier, how things are cropped. Some of these are cropped correctly, but, and it's moving slowly. So if you don't need the gallery, don't do it. I'm not able to actually make it go myself. See, this one is not cropped very well. Okay. Okay. Nice. Let's stick with this. And if we're going to use black, I think that's navy, then let's make this black. Okay, that's a template. Okay, so far, because I think you're talking about writing and things, if I remember. Okay. 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 I need some examples. Okay, so I know I've seen this, but are these the individuals that actually said these things, or are you putting the content in a template of a photo? I just want to make sure that they're your photos. Okay, and they don't seem to match up to what you're posting in your portfolio. If this is the blog page, let's disable it until you have work to go there. And honestly, I would say your blog is one of your most important, don't you think? If you're, you know, don't shy away from showing your writing. I'm not sure that these, I don't think you need 3. I don't have asset guides to know what they are, and I'm not clicking on it and finding out what it is. Okay, so I would just take that out. Just take that part out. This is tied together, but I think you need, you know, even if it's a school project or something, but I want more control over this as a user. I want to see what it is. I want to learn more about it. So, you know, this is a fine image for your About section, but these probably look more like they would go in a blog. Okay. Okay. Let's stick to the bigger ones and only once on a page. Okay. All right. Okay. I felt like I saw a site that was pretty well put together. Let's take that out for sure for now. All right. All right. So I'm really happy with what everybody has produced this week. I will be posting this for everyone. If you are looking at this and your site hasn't been covered, then perhaps it was submitted late. If I overlooked it, please contact me and let me know, and I will make one for you. But if you know, I waited a day or 24 hours so that everybody would have a chance to submit. And so after this point, unless you contact me right away, you'll just get written feedback instead of video feedback. All right. All right. very happy with where you guys are. You've done a lot in just 1 week. Okay, this is probably the biggest, jump where you are. From here on, it's tweaking and trying to make things work out. All right, great job, everybody.